The idea of Stefon Diggs joining the Kansas City Chiefs has been buzzing around a lot lately. It's a topic that's being talked about for good reason. It could very well happen. In this video, I'll break down why it's a real possibility. The Chiefs, despite making it to their third straight Super Bowl, still have some serious gaps to fill before the 2025 season kicks off. Their offense, for all its success, definitely needs an upgrade. Here's the thing. The Chiefs finished 17th in the league in average yards per game, with just 327.5 yards. They were also 17th in points per game, scoring an average of 22.6, and ranked 14th in passing yards per game at 222. When you look at the receiving numbers, they don't jump out at you. They had 1,000-yard receivers, with tight end Travis Kelce leading the pack at 823 yards. Meanwhile, Xavier Worthy had the most receiving yards among wide receivers at just 638 yards. And if you count the playoffs, the Chiefs only scored 30 or more points in 3 games. That's not exactly an offensive powerhouse. On top of that, Patrick Mahomes was sacked a career-high 36 times, something the Chiefs definitely need to address by improving their offensive line. It's clear the team needs a game changer, and that's why NFL insiders are predicting that Kansas City will go after a 4-time Pro Bowl wide receiver, someone who can elevate their offense and take the pressure off Mahomes. That game-changing Pro Bowl wide receiver? It's none other than Stefon Diggs. ESPN's Aaron Scatz believes the Chiefs will make a move to sign Diggs, giving Patrick Mahomes the playmaker he desperately needs to take their offense to the next level. Now, we all know Stefon Diggs was previously with the Buffalo Bills, but in 2024, he found himself playing just 8 games with the Houston Texans after suffering a torn ACL. Before that injury, Diggs had an impressive streak of 6 straight seasons with over 1,000 receiving yards. He was well on his way to a 7th consecutive 1,000-yard season when the injury struck. With several top free agent wide receivers set to leave their teams, the Chiefs will be looking for a veteran to fill that key role. They need someone who can line up on the outside opposite Xavier Worthy, especially with Rashid Rice expected to return to the slot. Despite his injury, Diggs is expected to be fully recovered by the start of the 2025 season. Before the ACL tear, he was showing signs of being on pace for yet another 1,000-yard season with the Texans. Scotts pointed out that Diggs still had a positive DVOA, defense-adjusted value over average, for the Texans, showcasing his continued high level of play even before his injury. When you look at the list of free agent wide receivers, it's clear the Chiefs have some big decisions to make. Players like DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Watson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Hollywood Brown, and Mecole Hardman are all on the market, meaning Kansas City will need to overhaul their receiving core. While some may think this isn't the offseason to worry about wide receivers, adding someone like Stefon Diggs would be a great starting point. Over his 10 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings, Buffalo Bills, and Houston Texans, Diggs has racked up 857 receptions, 10,491 receiving yards, and 57 touchdowns. He was named an All-Pro in 2020 and has consistently proven he's one of the top playmakers in the league. What's even more interesting is that Stefon Diggs has spoken highly of the Kansas City Chiefs in the past. It's no secret that he respects what they've built, and that could be a huge factor in why he'd be interested in joining them. Now, rumors are swirling that a potential Diggs to the Chiefs move is heating up, and if this becomes a reality, it could send shockwaves through the NFL. We all know what Diggs brings to the table: the experience, the talent, and the ability to change the game. If he's adopting a can't beat them, join them mentality, then it wouldn't be surprising to see him join Mahomes and the Chiefs for what could be an unstoppable combination. So, how do you all feel about Stefon Diggs joining the Chiefs? Personally, I think it could be a game changer. We're entering that time of year when the offseason talk really picks up. We're discussing rookies, free agents, and everything in between. And with the Chiefs in need of a wide receiver more than ever, you can bet we'll be diving into a lot of different player options over the next few months. This is the year where Kansas City needs to make a move. Not only do they need a top-tier wide receiver, but they also need to strengthen every position on the roster. If Diggs were to join the team, he could be the key piece to give their offense the boost it desperately needs. But of course, there are some concerns to consider. His recovery from the ACL injury is one of the big questions. We also have to think about team chemistry. Will Diggs mesh with Mahomes and the rest of the Chiefs? And let's not forget, the Chiefs have their own set of performance inconsistencies to work through too. But even with those challenges, adding a player like Diggs could be the spark that ignites their offense. The Chiefs also need to focus on improving their offensive line. As I mentioned earlier, there's a real possibility that Kansas City could lose up to 5 wide receivers in free agency. And with Patrick Mahomes being sacked a career-high 36 times last season, it's clear the offensive line needs some serious attention. Strengthening the O-line should be a top priority. When it comes to wide receivers, the Chiefs will definitely be targeting some key players. Stefon Diggs would be high on that list, especially if his recovery from injury goes as planned. We all know that the Chiefs' draft and free agency decisions over the next few months will have a huge impact on their roster and their ability to compete in the upcoming season. Bringing in Stefon Diggs would be a game-changing move for the Chiefs. He's the kind of elite playmaker they desperately need. But let's not forget, they also need to solidify the offensive line and address their overall roster depth. I have no doubt that Brett Veach, the Chiefs' GM, will be looking to make a move for Diggs if everything lines up. It's exactly the kind of bold decision that fits with the Chiefs' strategy. I truly believe the Chiefs are still on track to become a dynasty. There's nothing to worry about as long as they make the right moves this offseason. If they do what's necessary, they can absolutely bounce back from that tough Super Bowl loss. I know some of you might be wondering, where have you been? Are you just avoiding the Chiefs because of the Super Bowl 50? Well, sorry to disappoint you. I'm not avoiding the Chiefs. There's just been a lot going on. I recently got a new position, not exactly a new job, but a new role with added responsibilities. I've been doing security, so my hours have been all over the place, and it's been tough to get these videos out. But I'm back now. It's March, and the off-season is in full swing. There's so much content to cover, and we've got a lot to look forward to. The Chiefs are going to be very active this offseason, both in free agency and the draft. It's going to be exciting to see how everything unfolds. There's a lot to get done, and I can't wait to see how this team shapes up for the upcoming season. Stefon Diggs is projected to earn somewhere between $3 million and $14.8 million a year. If the Chiefs could snag him for around $7 million per year, that would be an amazing deal, though I'm not sure he'd be willing to take that. Still, it's definitely an interesting possibility. There are also a lot of wide receivers out there that people are sleeping on, and you never know who might become available in free agency. So it's not all about Diggs. There are plenty of other options too. That said, if the Chiefs land Stefon Diggs, it would be a huge win for their offense. But there's a lot more to cover. I've got some great left tackle options I want to dive into, and I'll be doing a draft breakdown very soon as well. The offseason is going to be packed with content, and I'm excited to keep growing the channel. I really appreciate all of you who've stuck with me through it all. You've been rocking with me, and I'm so grateful for that. There's a lot of fun ahead, and I can't wait to get more videos out for you. So stay tuned. There's a lot coming your way. When I say we're going to have fun with these videos, I'm talking about all of us, me and you. So back to Diggs. I honestly think he's going to end up with the Chiefs. The guy needs a ring, and it would be pretty ironic if he signed with us, considering he's lost to us 3 times in the AFC playoffs. But hey, that just shows how competitive he is. The fit makes a lot of sense, though. Diggs was his old dominant self last season, posting a 79.9 PFF receiving grade with only a 4.1% drop rate. That's impressive. He could really provide solid insurance as Rashid Rice returns from injury and as Xavier Worthy continues to develop in year 2. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I've got plenty more content coming your way, so stay tuned.